Today I'm going to teach you how to create a depth map so you can use it to focus anywhere in an image and blur the rest accordingly to that depth map. This secret map changed my artworks forever. Watch this video until the end to see how I apply it in my artworks. After you open your image, you should go to Filter, then Neural Filters. Here you should activate Depth Blur. You don't need to modify anything, just click on this output depth map only and you should check here new layer. And Photoshop, based on the image information, is calculating the depth map. So if we look at this image, we will notice that the closest parts, the foreground objects or parts of our image, are the darkest ones, and the furthest away parts like the sky are the brightest ones, like white. So let's hit OK. Photoshop created this depth map on a new layer. Let's call this one depth. So let's see how we can use this one. First thing, let's duplicate the background layer, or you can press Ctrl J. Then let's bring back this depth layer. Let's go to channels now. Here on the blue, green, red, doesn't matter, they're all the same now. You should duplicate one of those channels. Let's, for example, duplicate the blue one. And let's name this one depth map. Then check RGB and leave this one unchecked. Go back to layers and hide this layer. Now select the copy and go to filter, and here on the blur we are going to check or use lens blur, and on the source, if you select none, it will use Photoshop lens blur without any depth map. But because we created one on the channels and we rename it depth map, this is it, so check it. And now Photoshop will calculate the depth based on the map that we just provided. So depending on the result you want to achieve or how much you want to blur the background, radius is the one that you should modify. So if you increase the radius, you'll see that the background will be really blurred, out of focus. So if you want that, that's okay, but I don't want that, so I'm going to reduce the radius to 23 because, you know, I am Mr. 23. Alright, so I'll leave the blur focal distance at 94 and I'll hit OK. Because I want to be surrounded by people that really want to learn from me and to earn some money to support this art journey, I decided to open a Patreon account. For me, everything is about community. So in my Patreon account, expect to receive feedback from me based on the monthly Photoshop assignments that I'm going to post there for you. Also, I will post more tutorials just for Patreon, where I will give you a lot of tips and tricks and a lot of free stuff. And that's not all. We can have a live call where I can guide you and help you personally with your artworks. So if you want to explore more of the photo manipulation world, join my Patreon now. I have this picture from DeviantArt from Festock, and I'm going to select her by using select subject, and then I'm going to add a mask. And I'm just going to tweak her a bit. I'm just going to add a curves adjustment layer and a shadow underneath her feet, just to add a bit of realism. So if you can see now, because I made a copy of the background without a depth map and without that autofocus background, this is how it looks. But if we add that lens blur with a depth map, you see that everything changes. And now let me show you another example on how I apply it on my artworks, and that changed the result a lot. So after I have finished adding everything that I needed in my artwork and placed the character and everything over there, I will make a screenshot. So press Ctrl Alt Shift and I. Now let's follow the same steps. And then let's go to lens blur, go to filter, and here blur lens blur. In my case, for this artwork, I want to focus on her eyes over here. That will give me a really nice motion blur overall, because if you look, let's zoom in here on this part, you see that it has a really nice bokeh blurry effect. So if I disable the preview, this is how it looks, and this is how it is after we applied. So let's hit OK. So this is after and this is before. So for me this is a game changer, because after I finish my artwork I can focus everywhere I want. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to learn more from me, subscribe to this channel so you'll be in touch with all my latest news. And don't forget to check out the other videos from my channel, and if you want to learn even more, join me on my Patreon account.